All right. Well, this is another example. This is session 3, which is thinking about work. And I, Amy, will be playing the part of the facilitator, and both Jess and Nikki will be veterans in this example. And so we'll be looking at parts you can kind of pay attention to. We're looking for the veterans' thoughts to see if they're helpful or unhelpful, healthy or unhealthy, and then accurate or inaccurate. So that's what you'll see us working through today. And Nikki, if you want to, we'll start with a veteran. Obviously, this is taken out of context from an actual group. So we'll go ahead and start with the script.
Accurate, inaccurate, are these thoughts true? Are we making a mistake in thinking? Thoughts such as things will never get better, I'll never be able to do this job are not accurate. These are extremes and are almost never true. That's pretty much where I'm at.
Okay. Well, we're going to practice examining our thoughts a little bit. So turn to page 27 if you've got your manual out. And maybe we could use your thought right now as an example. Nikki, which of your thoughts would you like to share? We can go through this framework and assess it, and everyone can use this framework for all of your thoughts that you're currently having.
Well, I guess the age and what is the other one? The age and the physical limitations. These are the questions that I'm wrestling with today.
Okay.
I don't know that they're totally accurate. I don't know that they're not founded either.
Okay. So it looks like you're looking at the one, am I too old, as one of your thoughts. So I'm too old to go to work. I'm too old to return to the workforce. Let's maybe focus on that one. That's a thought that you and a lot of other people might be having. So in terms of breaking it down, is this a helpful thought? How would you classify this? Is it a helpful or unhelpful thought?
Well, it's kind of well, did you want me to answer or somebody else?
Oh, you can go ahead and answer, and then we'll let others weigh in.
It's kind of unhealthy because actually, if I don't go back to work, I'm going to be sitting around doing pretty much nothing all day, which is not a healthy thing. It is not a healthy thing.
Okay.
I kind of have to agree with Nikki on everything she's saying because I've stopped working in 1999 and that's a long time ago. So it's been my health. It seems like every time, well, the reason I stopped working was because of my health, but at the time I didn't know what was going on with me. You just like every injury you get in the military, people just don't find out about until years later. So when things are serious, too serious, and they really have to get some help and they have to go through all of the stuff in their mind and they have to deal with the physical and then the mental part of it. But as far as that goes on my journey through this part of my life, being a disabled veteran, I've always participated in some type of voc rehab, whether it's been a civilian program or with the veterans at the VA, because I've always had it in my mind that at one point in my life, I felt like I was going to go back to work. I really wanted to go back to work because otherwise I wouldn't be preparing myself continuously through the years for it. But it seems like every time I think I'm ready, it's not. Every time I think I'm ready, I know I'm ready, I'm good mentally. It's just the physical part of my body lets me down and something comes up. Just like now, the problem that I'm contemplating is this operation that we found almost 20 years ago, but was overlooked.
Okay.
It was overlooked because of the other things that were treating me for. So it kind of got subdued and everything here pops back up and I'm going through another program, getting ready to get out of here and it shows its ugly head. And then physically I get pushed down again. Mentally I'm ready to go, but you can understand. I can understand what Nikki is saying.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely sounds like you can relate. And I think you introduced a different thought that we can also break down using this framework. But we'll go back to Nikki first. And the thought that you said, and then that Jess was saying, that is, my body is going to fail me. It keeps failing me and something else is going to fail me. That's the thought you're having. But we'll go back to the other thought, I'm too old to work. So Nikki, it sounded like you had some insight that that's not a healthy thought because sitting around and not working is not good for your mental health.
Well, I'm going on my own mental health issue. Idle time is, well, it's a danger for me because if I'm sitting, I spend too much time in my head and I can't be in my head all day, every day. So I need to be active either in the workforce or finding some type of, I mean, it could even be charity work, but I mean, I need to be active. I cannot afford to sit around.
Okay. So all of those three different categories, we've assessed healthy versus unhealthy, and it's unhealthy to have this thought. How about in terms of accuracy? Is it accurate that at your current age that you're too old to work? Is that an accurate thought?
Well, you know, it's inaccurate because I mean I'm 67 and I know a lot of people are working way past 67. So yeah, that part's inaccurate.
Okay.
My physical limitation, but not. That's okay. I have to find something that I can do. And you know, I don't want to hurt myself every day. You know, I used to do warehouse work and the physical demands were not where I want to be today.
Okay.
Yeah, mine is like that too, Nikki. Because of the physical part, I'm starting to think I just turned 58 and I'm like, okay, I can get out there at 58, but the physical part, just because I'm 58, people or employers might say, okay, you're 58, you're getting up there, but you also have these physical limitations and these physical problems. Is that compounding? You know, what's going on with my, as far as my employer side, is we get him in a position, is his body going to go down okay? Or is it a waste of time training him to get to be the person we need him to be, even though I've still got about 10 years in the workforce before the actual retirement age comes about. But yeah.
I'm not even going down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like, sometimes our thoughts, there could be a degree of accuracy to them. So it's not 100% accurate or 100% inaccurate. There could be evidence that just when your body has failed you, health issues have popped up. The question is, the thought is, will my body always fail me? And this might be inaccurate, but it sounds like you also realize that your thought of it's unhelpful to go into every job thinking that your body is going to let you down, and because that could impact your performance on interviews. So it could impact your behaviors, and it doesn't lead to a successful outcome.
Absolutely.
Okay. So the point with a lot of this is that if we analyze our thoughts along these different categories or dimensions, if one of them is unhelpful, unhealthy, or inaccurate, it may be worthwhile to challenge the thought or reassess the thought or answer the thought differently. Nikki, in your situation, your thought was you're too old to work. It is helpful that you're considering your body in terms of what jobs would be a good fit or would not. But if you walk into every interview and say, I'm too old to work, they're not going to hire me. Why would they want me? I'm too old. That's obviously going to be unhelpful. You've already said it's inaccurate because there's proof that people at age 65 can get jobs and they can work way longer than that. And it also wouldn't necessarily be a healthy thought if recognizing that this behavior for you to sit around and not work, that idle time you just said is not good for you.
Right.
Okay. So it sounds like, so basically what we're doing at this point is we're just going through the examples of our thoughts and kind of categorizing them into helpfulness, healthy, or accurate. And Jess, you did that kind of with your body too. And so, well, now in this group, we're going to take a bit of time for all of us to take some time, write down your thoughts, maybe other thoughts that you've been thinking through. And we're going to use that template on page 27. And I'm going to give you a minute or two just to work through those thoughts and think through it, and then we'll come back and discuss.